So example 3, we're going to write an exponential model. So in 2000, the world population was about 6.09 billion. During the next 13 years, the world population increased by about 1.8% each year. So 3 things we're going to do. 1, we're going to write an exponential growth model given by the population. Then after that, we're going to estimate the world population in 2005 using our model. Then last, we're going to estimate the year when the world population was 7 billion. So let's start with the first one. Exponential growth, we're looking at y equals a times 1 plus r raised to the t. So let's identify what we know given this information. So we know that 6.09 billion, that's our initial amount. So a equals 6.09. Now it says during the next 13 years, that's actually for now, for us, that is extraneous information. We don't really need it right now. It's just saying that they were studying it for the next 13 years, so that we're just going to ignore for this problem. The next part is we know that the population increased by about 1.18% each year. So percent, when you see the word percent, you know that has to do with R. So R is 1.18%, but remember that we have to represent it as a decimal. So to represent it as a decimal, we can move the decimal place left 2 times or divide it by 100. So if we move it left 2 times, 1, 2, we find that R is actually 0.0118. So that is the R value that we're going to plug in. Now we're going to write our exponential growth model. So that is going to be y equals 6.09, that's our a value, times, and then using this here, 1 plus our r value, which is 0.0118, raised to the t. So we don't want the 13, we just want the general growth model, and so this is it. Now we do need to simplify it. So what it means is you're going to add this number, and then that'll be our final answer. So this is y equals 6.09, 1.0118 raised to the t. So that's our exponential growth model. Now we need to estimate when the world population, what the world population was in 2005. So let's look at some information here. It says in 2000, so that is year 1 here to 2005, or 2000 and then to 2005. We're going to plug in, our time is, so how many years was that? 5 years. We're going to actually plug 5 into here. So you're going to plug it into your calculator. You can type it as you see it, raised to the 5th power. And so when you do that, you will find that the answer is about 6.46 billion in 2005. Okay, so that's the second part. The last part is to estimate the year when the world population was 7 billion. So what you're going to do is you're going to type this in Desmos, so 6.09 times 1.0118, and then raised to the x. Then, and for your next line, you're going to type in y equals x. So 2 equations. I'm sorry, y equals x. Y equals 7. Okay, because this will give us what the world population was. So when you type in y equals 7, so this is a growth, and then here, you'll notice that number here, that number, when you look at it, it's like 11 point something. So therefore, the year when the world population was 7 billion was 2011. Okay, it was approximately 2011. So in example 3, assume the world population increased by 1.5% each year. So estimate the year when the world population was 7 billion. So write the equation, and then you just estimate the when the world population was 7 billion using Desmos again. So if you tried this out, you should have gotten the equation y equals 6.09 times 1.015 raised to the t. So remember, you take this 1.5, you move the decimal over twice, so that's what I did here, and then so the r is actually 0.015, and you add it to the 1, and here it is. Then you plug it into Desmos, so you plugged in your equation 6.09 parentheses 1.015 raised to the x, and then you type in y equals 7, and then so then you will find that the world population was 7 billion in the year 2009, because then you would have found that that x value would have been 9.